I could have a heart attack one day, but before I tell you how I'm stopping it, let me tell you a true story. A 26-year-old man and his 81-year-old grandfather went for breakfast one day. At 8:30 a.m., they sat down. 2 minutes later, something seemed off. Grandpa looked pale. He wasn't responding. Sweat dripped down his face. And he says the following: "I feel dizzy, my chest is tight, and my arm hurts." Classic signs of a heart attack. The man knew he couldn't wait. The ambulance was 17 minutes away, so he carried his grandfather to the car and drove to the nearby hospital. Doctors said they needed to clear a blocked artery right away. So the man signed the papers as fast as he could. 50 minutes later, it was done. The doctor said, "You saved his life." And they got 4 more years together before his heart finally gave out. That was my grandfather, and that was me. And that's why I'm fighting to never let this happen to me. I've lost 3 grandparents because of heart issues, and my father has had 2 heart attacks and a stroke. So I am genetically predisposed to heart issues.
Yikes.
Now, I can't blame genetics and just sit there and do nothing. In fact, I have taken action to get regular blood work done to see how things are looking. In fact, I do plan on getting a full checkup done with a cardiologist. I will definitely record that video and share it with you guys someday. But accepting the fact that I probably have been dealt a poor hand genetically is the best thing for me.
Wait, what?
It has changed the way I train now. This is where I will talk about how important a role cardio can play. Now, cardio is not all that glamorous. It is a boring activity that has been used for years in the health and fitness space to lose fat, lose weight, for body recomposition, etc. But what people truly forget is its ability to change life if done the right way. Let's really talk about how I target cardio and how you could incorporate it in your training to get the most out of it. If this message is hitting home, consider subscribing. I am committed to giving you science-backed strategies and real stories that actually make a difference. Let's get back to it. Strength training is important. I'm not saying anything against it. Hell, I am a performance coach for athletes. I love strength work. Having lean muscle mass is paramount to longevity. I know that muscles are sexy. They make you look good and they make you feel good. But heart is a muscle as well that is directly trained through cardio. Hence the name cardiovascular training. Anyone who says that you need strength training and don't need cardio has no idea what the hell they're talking about.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Let's break this video down into 3 parts. First one, what cardio really does for your heart. Second one, how I have structured my weekly training. And third, how you can start building a heart healthy program. Let's talk about the general benefits of cardio training on heart health. Now, it reduces the risk of coronary artery disease. Regular aerobic exercise improves blood flow, lowers blood pressure, and reduces arterial stiffness, lowers LDL cholesterol, and increases HDL. Cardio helps manage lipid profiles, reducing plaque buildup in arteries. It improves endothelial function. Exercise enhances the health of blood vessel linings, improving vasodilation, reduces inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a major CVD risk factor, and cardio helps lower inflammatory markers like CRP, which is C-reactive protein. Now, I'm going to give you an example of just a few studies that prove that cardio training, if done in the right way, can reduce your chances of heart diseases. So that you know I'm not talking out of my ass and is backed by science. The American Heart Association guidelines from 2018 recommends 75 minutes of vigorous activity to reduce CVD risk factors by 30 to 40%. A meta-analysis that was done in 2006. Now, a meta-analysis is a method of combination of quantitative data from multiple independent studies talking about a common research question. Now, this meta-analysis showed a 20 to 30% reduction in CVD risk with regular, moderate to vigorous exercise. Now, another study of European Heart Journal of 2023 found that high-intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, improves cardiac function better than moderate exercise in high-risk patients. Now, this is a good time for you to smash that like button if you like the video and comment your favorite modality of cardio, that we get an idea as to how you train that beautiful machine called the heart. I love the stationary bike and I thoroughly enjoy it. Now, before I tell you my training structure, it is extremely important to understand two types of cardio training that are very close to my heart. Did you see what I just did there?
Yeah, boy.
Zone 2 training and VO2 Max training. You probably must have heard these two terms being thrown around. Now let's put them side by side to better understand it. Now, the primary differences between Zone 2 training and VO2 Max training is the intensity. That's the main differentiator. Intensity, approximately 60 to 70% of max heart rate, and VO2 Max is 85 to 95% of max heart rate. One biggest differentiator is how you speak while doing these sort of trainings. So in Zone 2, you can still maintain a conversation. So let's say if you're on a call, the other person at the end of the call should be able to sort of distinguish that you're slightly higher breath rate, you're doing some sort of physical activity, whereas with VO2 Max is, all right, you're out of breath, totally out of breath. The one other important one is the energy system. Zone 2 is fat oxidation, whereas VO2 Max is glycolytic, so it runs between aerobic and anaerobic. Primary adaptations, this is where things are really interesting. As you can see, capillary density and efficiency, whereas VO2 Max, cardiac output, so the amount of blood you can pump out, that's basically what cardiac output is. And then the example of what sort of training it is, we will speak about this. 60 to 90 minutes of steady state runs, cycles, walks, whatever it may be, focusing on breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Maintain that throughout your steady state or your Zone 2 training. And whereas VO2 Max, go for some interval sprints, do something that can get your heart rate up 6 to 10 seconds max, relax, take at least 4-5 minutes, go back out again. So this is some sort of difference. Now, coming back to my style of training, I do 2 days of strength work and almost 3 to 4 days of cardio. I do a lot of cardio. My strength training has also changed over the years. As you know, I'm a failed athlete, but my obsession to look like one or train like one has not gone away, and I don't think it ever will. So my strength days are full body work, primarily consisting of a lot of rotational work, plyometrics, and some exercises that work in the power and endurance rep range. So somewhere between 5 to 25 reps. Really depends on what I'm going for. I mean, also depends on the season, because I still play football. Again, some would say 2 days of strength training is not enough. Well, it depends on your goals. Sure, for my youth athletes, it isn't enough in the off season, but in season, it can be fine. Since this video is more about my cardio training, let's get back to this. But if you would like to know about what exercises I do to remain springy, explosive and strong all year long, like this video. If we get 30 likes, I will share it. Now, 3 days of my cardio is primarily Zone 2 training, that too on a stationary bike. Sometimes to mix it up, I do it on an incline treadmill. Now, some Zone 2 training benefits. Let's talk about it from a scientific background. A few studies that are mentioned over here, you can see them. One thing you really keep in mind while performing Zone 2 training is breathing. The ideal method is to maintain nasal breathing. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Now this is where everything changes. People look at Zone 2 training as a method to lose fat because of the energy system used, but I do feel it is a lot better for heart health. After I'm done with 3 Zone 2 cardio sessions, I do 1 day of VO2 Max training. Since I do enjoy playing football, I need to make sure I do not lose out on my speed. Hence, I train my VO2 Max with sprints. I keep it simple, 10 rounds of 40-meter sprints with adequate rest so that I can go max out every time. Some benefits of VO2 Max are mentioned in these studies, which you can have a look. Now we come to the last part of the video. How can you structure your program? It all depends on your goals, but you need to incorporate Zone 2 cardio and VO2 max training for optimum heart health. You can build all the muscle you want, but your heart also needs to exercise to make sure it can pump blood and nutrients to those big muscles you're trying to build. The easiest strategy that can be adopted by everyone is 2 days of Zone 2 training every week, and I don't mean going out for a walk. I mean legit, intentional Zone 2 training, probably cross trainer, bike, treadmill, etc. for at least 30 minutes. You want to do it after strength work? Be my friend. Of course, go ahead, do it. But 3 days of VO2 max training in a month, that is one session in 10 days. Now you can't make an excuse when it comes to that. I bet you can take out 20 minutes in 10 days to do some sprints. Walk, and I don't mean you have to do 10,000 steps. I believe that the people who watch my videos are already active or are trying to live an active lifestyle. This means you are walking. Stop counting your steps. Just go out, get some fresh air, make that time of your day where you brainstorm or connect with your partner. Remember, on average, 30 minutes of walk can get you 4,000 steps. So walk, my friend. Don't count it, and this is excess of whatever Zone 2 training you do. There you have it, guys. My pursuit of reducing my chances of getting a heart attack despite my genetics is very largely structured around cardio and nutrition. I know, I haven't mentioned nutrition, but this video was just about cardio and making you realize that it can improve the quality of your life. So yeah, I might be at a risk of a heart attack one day, but I'm doing everything I can now to make sure that that day never comes, because I've seen what happens when you wait too long. I train smart, I stay consistent, and most of all, I don't take my health for granted. And you shouldn't either. Cardio isn't just about burning fat or getting lean, it's about training the muscle that keeps you alive. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you're serious about building a stronger body and a stronger heart, hit subscribe. I've got more science-backed strategies and real stories coming your way. Until next time, take care of your heart, because no one else will do it for you.